Have you ever heard a story so wild, so unbelievable, that it just has to be true? Today, we re-dive into one of the most bizarre and fascinating treasure tales in history. The story of the Sangsingui civilization and its magnificent, otherworldly artifacts. This isn't your typical story of pirates and buried gold. This is a story about a treasure that, according to our history books, should never have existed in the first place. Our journey begins in 1929, in a rural village in Sichuan, China. A farmer named Yan Daosheng was digging a well when his shovel hit something hard. It wasn't rock, it was a large, smooth piece of jade. Over the next few days, he and his family unearthed hundreds of jade artifacts, including rings, tablets, and other ceremonial objects. This was a stunning discovery. But it was just the tip of the iceberg. The local authorities eventually caught wind of it. But due to 2 years of social and political turmoil, the true significance of this find remained buried, both literally and figuratively. Fast forward to 1986. Construction workers at a local brick factory were digging for clay when they stumbled upon something extraordinary. It was 2 massive sacrificial pits, filled to the brim with some of the most spectacular and strange artifacts ever discovered. We're talking about thousands of items made of bronze, gold, jade, and ivory. And when I say strange, I mean truly mind-boggling. Imagine this. A towering 8.5-foot tall bronze statue of a man standing on a pedestal. It is the largest and most complete bronze human statue from that era ever found anywhere in the world. His hands are enormous, exaggerated, forming circles as if they once held something significant, maybe a ceremonial elephant tusk. His features are sharp, with a serene yet powerful expression. Nothing like it had ever been seen before. But that's just the beginning. The pits also contained dozens of bronze heads. Some were life-sized, others smaller, but they all shared the same mysterious features: angular faces, huge, almond-shaped eyes, and large, protruding ears. Some of these heads were even covered in gold foil, giving them a divine, almost alien appearance. They don't resemble any other known form of ancient Chinese art. They look like something straight out of science fiction. Then there's the showstopper, a massive bronze mask, over 4 feet wide, with gigantic, wing-like ears and pupils that literally stick out of their sockets. It's a surreal, almost intimidating piece of art. Who were these people? And what did these incredible masks represent? Were they gods, ancestors, or something else entirely? The mystery deepens when we consider the craftsmanship. The techniques used to create these bronze objects were incredibly advanced, rivaling, and in some cases, surpassing the famous bronzes of the Shang dynasty, which was thought to be the cradle of Chinese civilization. This brings us to the core of the puzzle. Who were the Sangsingui people? For centuries, Chinese history was centered around the Yellow River Valley, home to the Xia, Shang, and Zhou dynasties. It was believed that this was the sole origin point of Chinese civilization. The Sichuan Basin, where Sangsingui was found, was considered a remote, culturally backward region. But these discoveries completely shattered that narrative. Here was a civilization, flourishing over 3,000 years ago, that was just as sophisticated, if not more so, than its northern counterparts. A civilization that wasn't mentioned in any historical records. It was as if a major chapter of human history had been completely ripped out and forgotten. This is why we call it a treasure that was never supposed to exist. It forces us to rewrite everything we thought we knew. So, who were these mysterious people? We don't have a name for them, as they left behind no written language. That's right, Ciro. Written records, we have their homes, their tombs, and these incredible pits filled with ritual objects, but not a single character to tell us who they were, what they believed, or why they vanished. The lack of writing is one of the most frustrating aspects of the Sangsingui mystery. For a culture capable of such artistic and metallurgical feats, it's almost inconceivable that they wouldn't have a writing system. Or perhaps they did, but it was recorded on perishable materials, like wood or silk, that have long since decomposed. This silence has opened the floodgates to all sorts of theories. Some scholars believe the strange-looking figures depict shamans or priests in a trance-like state, communicating with the spirit world. The exaggerated eyes could represent an all-seeing ability, a connection to the divine. The massive masks might have been used in rituals to channel the power of gods or mythical beasts. Another theory points to the sheer amount of ivory found over 80 elephant tusks. This suggests that elephants played a crucial role in their culture and that Sangxingdui was a major trade hub, possibly connected to other cultures in Southeast Asia or even further afield. And then there are the more creative theories. Looking at those elongated heads and oversized eyes, it's not hard to see why some people have suggested an extraterrestrial connection. Could these be depictions of alien visitors who shared their advanced knowledge with an ancient tribe? While it's a fun idea, archaeologists are pretty confident the answer lies right here on Earth. The unique style is more likely a symbolic representation of power and spirituality, not a literal portrait of aliens. But perhaps the biggest mystery of all is not who they were, but where they went. Around 1200 BCE, the Sangxingdui civilization seems to have abruptly disappeared. The city was abandoned, and those two sacrificial pits, they weren't graves. The objects inside were deliberately broken, burned, and then carefully buried. Why would a culture destroy its most sacred and valuable possessions? It was an act of ritual killing. Perhaps it was a final, desperate offering to their gods to avert a disaster. Some evidence suggests a massive earthquake may have rerouted the Minjiang River, which was the city's lifeblood, leading to its collapse. Another theory suggests the city was conquered by a rival power and the inhabitants buried their treasures to keep them from falling into enemy hands. A clue might be found at Jinzia, another archaeological site discovered nearby in 2001. The artifacts found at Jinzia, dating to a slightly later period, share a striking resemblance to those from Sangxingdui, though they are generally smaller and less monumental. This suggests that the Sangxingdui people didn't just vanish. They may have migrated, establishing a new center at Jinzia after their original home was no longer viable. It's as if they packed up what they could, ritually decommissioned their old capital, and started over. The discovery of Sangxingdui is ongoing. Even now, new pits are being unearthed, revealing even more treasures. In just the last few years, archaeologists have found a treasure trove of new items, including a bronze altar, a dragon-shaped sculpture, and more gold masks. Each new artifact adds another piece to the puzzle, but it also raises new questions. This lost civilization forces us to reconsider the very nature of history. It reminds us that our understanding of the past is always incomplete, shaped by the fragments we happen to find. Sangxingdui was a forgotten kingdom, a blind spot in the grand narrative of human civilization, hidden beneath the earth for 3 millennia. It's a testament to the fact that there are still great mysteries waiting to be discovered, treasures that can redefine our place in the world and expand our understanding of what it means to be human. The people of Sangxingdui may not have left us their words, but they left us their art, a silent, powerful testimony to their brilliance, their beliefs, and their eventual enigmatic fate. They left us a treasure that was never meant to be found, a story that was never supposed to be told, and a puzzle that we may never fully solve. What do you think happened to this incredible civilization? Was it a natural disaster, an invasion, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.